Wow, look at all these computers. I mean,
Yeah.
this is like a high-tech, this is like a high-tech meeting. Yeah, that's why I have the iPad. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good balance.
It's a very good
Hey,
balance.
sweetheart, where's that notepad?
Right.
I don't know. Hey Melanie, Bob Johnson, BobMortgage. Hey, I just wanted to reach out to you. We consistently rank in the top 1% of all mortgage originators on a national basis. Look, to go ahead and get started, I'm going to text you a link to my personal platform. It's a great way to build a personalized profile for yourself, and it'll allow me to better understand what you guys are wanting to accomplish and how I can best assist you with your short and long-term financing needs. Okay, I look forward to talking with you hopefully in the next day or two, and look forward to receiving your online profile. Talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great Monday. Bye. Today's Tuesday. Wow, look at all these computers. I mean,
Yeah.
this is like a high-tech, this is like a high-tech
Old
meeting.
school.
Yeah, that's why I have the iPad. Yeah.
Nice. It's
Yeah.
a good balance.
It's a very good
Hey,
balance.
sweetheart, where's that notepad?
Right.
I don't know.
Usually like crushed up in a wad in my backpack.
So, what are we doing? Let's.
Yeah, let's talk. Well, so tell us
yeah.
about you guys and your business and your partnership. And they're sisters too, by the
Right. Oh, I knew that. Yeah, I know that.
So we just got started in the real estate industry.
Okay.
It's been just over a year.
Okay.
Except we really just got going in October. So
Okay.
it's all very fresh, all very new. We just
Alright.
really want to, meet with you guys and find out what it is that y'all do.
Sure.
And if there's anything that y'all specialize in or how you guys like to be communicated with, because we're trying to find people that we can partner with that are
Absolutely.
reliable and know what they're doing.
Let me kind of dive into the process and what didn't work, as far as what you wanted to see happen that just wasn't happening. If you could design the perfect relationship between us, what would that look like so that you're not having to meet with somebody else again?
I think patience and understanding with our clients, the ability to answer, whatever questions. Obviously, you guys have been doing it for 22 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure that will be no issue.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's not necessarily an issue. It's in delivery,
exactly.
right? I think that's the big thing. It's not like the other lenders probably knew how to answer the question. It was just either in the delivery of how the client heard it,
Right.
or they just didn't answer it. I mean, so there's two different ways. I mean, you can make a client feel very irritated by the way you're answering a question. They're like, really? You're asking that question? Being in this 22 years, you should expect this from me. We should know pretty much every question the buyer's going to ask before they ever ask it. Now, how do we work to answer those questions before they ask it? And that's the difference between communication versus proactive and being satisfied versus exceeding expectations. If you can answer questions before they ask it, then technically you've given them an opportunity to exceed an expectation, right? But also doing that, you have to be really good at setting an expectation. Because if you never set an expectation with a client, a partner, anybody, then you're always going to be chasing because you'll never be able to meet or exceed it. You're just going to be satisfied.
So, what do y'all do with people that are credit challenged?
Great question. So, depends on what level they are, right? So if level one, maybe I can help them fix it, right? So we do the
people
what
that
if.
are under the what if.
Yeah, that there's some structural stuff that they need to do. So there's a company I've just used for a while, and they've been really, really good. National Credit Care. Aubrey and their team just make our clients feel good. They take care of them. They don't make them feel like they're credit challenged, right? The big thing for me and why we don't mind talking to them is just making sure they don't lose hope in their ability to buy, right? So what happened? What do we need to do to fix it so that you can get on the path to home ownership? So we'll kind of, at least paint the picture for them and talk to them, and then get them over to Aubrey and his team so that they can help them go down that path. They still got to do it, right? A lot of people, if they've developed a certain habit, it's hard for them to break it, and we don't see them come out of it. But the ones when you're talking to them, that they really want to do the work, and they'll put it in, and they'll do it. If I have a client that's at a 570, I'm not going to just look at putting 10% down. If the client has some things, some money or whatever, I may look at what can we do to get them up over 580 really quickly, right? So that's called my what if analysis or credit expert. And so I'll do whether they're at 715 credit score and I can get them to 724 because that gets them a lower rate, or they're at 570, I need to get them to 585 or 580 just to be able to get 3.5% down. We'll look at the data points in their credit report, see what we can do to increase the score, whether that's paying down a balance that's high to their limit, it's the paying off a collection, whatever it's going to be. We'll figure that out with them, give them that option, and then get them going on it quickly.
Do you all have a program for people who just got out of medical school or dental programs?
Yep.
What are the stipulations for that? I don't remember if we talked about that or not.
So like the like talking about like buying a house and savings on like down payment and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't really know what all the program entails. I've just heard that there are options for that.
So
I don't know if everyone does it. Or
they're like they're called like doctor's loans, but you don't have to be a doctor to qualify. And basically it's part of that. It depends on what they're needing, right? So most of them are the ones that come in and they're trying to buy, but they don't have money, and we can put them on one of those grant programs. Okay, that's fine. So we can put them on one of the grant programs. T-Shack is the one that kind of caters to medical, dental, medical professionals, right? And firefighters and police officers and teachers and all that kind of stuff. If they're not in that category, but they're coming out and they are a doctor, then they typically may come with like really big student loans.
That's the one that I was...
Right, yes. And so that one, they don't necessarily need help with a down payment. They need help eliminating that student loan debt. Yes, we have that, to where we don't have to count what the credit report is saying for that student loan, and we'll take that into account for their debt to income ratios.
Okay, that's
Yes.
what I was wondering. Thank you.
Yep.
What I've done in the past is I'll call the lender and say, hey, can you close within this period of time? And he'll be like, oh yeah, I've been able to close like this quickly. And then when it comes down to it, he's like, oh, I'm not ready, blah, blah, blah. So what's realistic for you guys? I know every situation's different, but is that what y'all prefer, to have us ask y'all, hey, with this situation and this client, how quick can we close before we put that on the contract?
I think that it's a healthy conversation for us to have, because every situation is going to be different. I'll tell you, our average, okay, is about 15 days. Okay, just average. Now that's not business days. That's just days. So we typically, if our agents are putting 13 or 15 days on a contract, that's just what it is, right? That's just kind of what we've kind of come to expect. But it's always healthy to have it, because there may be something on there. They're like, hey, this one has a little bit more hair, and it's going to take us a little bit more time because they're having to pay off debt, or we're having to get an increased credit score to get to that particular program. That's on us as well to let you know, because like if we're trying to go bond program and they're at a 618 and we have to get them to 620, we're going to be the ones also telling you, hey, we can write the contract, but we need to put this one out, 21 days or something like that to give the client enough time to do it. If we're like I said, go slow to go fast. If we're buttoned up like we are on the loan, then just run a 15-day close and 18-day close, and let's roll.
I'm loving all this note taking.
Man,
Been
It's so easy to
shamed.
get back to later. You're like Control F, that's what it is.
Yeah, what was that thing that he said about da-da-da-da-da?
Control F.
otherwise we can just listen on the tape, right?
True.
Yeah, Brandon gets to hear it all the time.